tried to come out, a little glimpse here and there, but finally this morning we have the sunshine. It's great. It's like being in darkness, and all of a sudden there's light. It's kind of like our spiritual life, right? It's almost the same thing. Today's gospel is from Mark 27 through 38. And it says, on the way to Caesarea Philippi, Jesus asked his disciples, "Who do they say I am?" Then he asked them, "Who do you say that I am?" Now understand that in Caesarea Philippi, this was an extremely pagan city and had many gods. And it's not to be confused with Caesarea in the coastal city under Herod. And it seems fitting that Jesus at this time would point and ask the disciples to recognize him as the Son of God. These questions that he asked probably caused some confusion and also required some thought on the part of the disciples. When Jesus asked, "Who do they say I am?" did he mean all the people that they met throughout his journey? Or did he mean just the people at Caesarea? When Jesus asked, "Who do you say I am?" the gospel only records the answer that Peter gives. "You are the Messiah." Now I wonder if all the disciples gave the same answer and gave it quite as quickly as Peter did. If we were to ask the world outside today, "Who do you say Jesus is?" what do you think would be their response? And I said earlier that I think it would be quite a project to go out and survey people and actually see what their response really is. It would be kind of interesting to hear what they would have to say. If you were to ask your friends, your neighbors, or your family, what would be their response? If I was to ask this congregation here today, "Who do you say Jesus is?" what would your response be? Would you be able to give it quickly, with a voice of commitment and with confidence? And as Jesus does so many times, he tells them not to say anything about him. And simply put, Jesus knew that they weren't ready yet to tell about him. They didn't have enough information about the work that Jesus would do and accomplish through his death and his resurrection. Right now, at this moment, they only had half the picture. They were seeing all the great miracles, listening to all the great messages, all the different parables, everything that Jesus was doing. They did not know enough about the true suffering that was going to come. In fact, at this point, they didn't know it until a little bit later. And they also didn't know about the suffering that was going to come to them also. When Jesus told them that the Son of Man must suffer and die, Peter, in his normal way that he does things, took Jesus to the side and in his normal self told him, "This cannot be true. This can't happen. This is not what I envisioned of you. This is not what my plans were for you. This is not what my desires were for you. This is not what I thought that you would fulfill." Jesus then got angry and told him, "Get behind me, Satan. You do not have the concerns of God, but you have only your own concerns." Now Peter was not Satan, and he was forgiven by Jesus later on. Jesus does forgive him, but Peter's thoughts were his own. It was his own concerns, his own desires, his own needs. He placed them all above the teachings that Jesus Christ had been doing. And now that Peter knew what was going to happen to Jesus, he was angry, and he was disappointed, and he felt as though he was let down. And now Jesus turns to the crowd and tells them that whoever wants to be his disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. One must lose their life in order to save it. What good is it to save up all the treasures of this world only to forfeit your soul? If you're ashamed of me and my words, I will be ashamed of you in the presence, my Father's presence. Those who are truly powerful and sobering messages. If you were ashamed of me and my words, I will be ashamed of you in my Father's presence. So many questions are asked here. So many questions need to be asked. Who do they say Jesus is? Who do you say Jesus is? How much do you know and understand about the true meaning behind Jesus' death and Do you place your ideas and thoughts and concerns above the teachings of Jesus? Are you building up material treasures, placing them above the works that Jesus has commanded us to do? Have you picked up your cross and striving to follow Jesus to the best of your ability? Are you ashamed or embarrassed to talk about Jesus among those in the world, or even to your friends, neighbors, or even your family? Now, as a deacon in the church, it's my responsibility to bring the world into the church and take the church out into the world. In verse 38, Jesus refers to the world as an adulterous and sinful generation. I just wonder what he would call the generation of today. Not all of us are teachers of the gospel. Not all of us can speak eloquently. But it's not just by the word of mouth that Christ's love can be felt. In fact, many people get the message when we're quiet. When we simply just show his love through our actions. By standing up for those who are in need. The sick, the poor, the homeless, the needy, the lonely, the widows, those who are suffering. Such as those folks in North Carolina and South Carolina are doing right now. They most surely could use our prayers. And there may be even times when maybe we may be able to help them. I'm not sure. And just as Jesus told the disciples not to say anything about it because they weren't ready, didn't fully understand, we also have to make sure that we are ready and fully understand. We do this through scripture reading, through Bible study, self-examination, and as I mentioned a couple weeks ago, a regular heart checkup with Christ. We can be prepared to go into the world not only with actions that show Christ's love, but also as disciples, able to speak and teach the word of Christ. We just started the adult Bible study group, and we're doing what's called the Disciples, becoming disciples through Bible study. And this is an example of how we can learn together as a community. Right now there's 9 of us in this group. And the hope is that after the end of this session, that we will have a deep understanding and be able to speak to others about the Scriptures, about the love of Christ. And also have confidence, and along the way have some fun. They will build a bond together and trust in one another. It will be through their actions, through their words, that they will be able to speak to those outside these walls and be a light to them. Folks, remember, don't gather up material things, material wealth at the expense of your soul. You all heard the saying that you can't take it with you. It's true, the material things you cannot take with you. But the love of Christ and the hope of everlasting life will go with you if you believe that Christ died for our salvation. And don't try to make your plans and your expectations of Christ overshadow the true meaning of Christ's death and resurrection. Study the Scriptures. Read the Gospels. Strive to do the very best you can to follow the teachings of Jesus Christ. Go out into the world and be disciples. Be disciples for Christ. Now, just as Jesus was rebuked and rejected, we are also going to come across these things as we live out our life of faith. I can guarantee it's going to happen at one time or another. We'll each have our cross to carry. It will not always be easy. In fact, in most times, it's probably going to be difficult. But by being in community with each other and knowing that Christ is with you in each and every step, you can do it. Through outreach, through the Patty Pack program, Jim Earhart program, children's Bible study, adult Bible study, being a hospital volunteer, a hospice volunteer, Eucharistic visitor, etc., etc. It goes on and on. You can do the things that we're commanded to do by baptismal covenant. As you become stronger in your knowledge of Scripture, you'll be able to speak easier with confidence about the love of Christ. Is there more that can be done? Absolutely. And as we go along, we will find ways to do more together as a loving, committed community of disciples of Christ. Let us pray. Most loving Father, open up our minds, our hearts, and our ears. We may read, hear, and understand your words. May we be faithful stewards of your word and sacrament. Be with us during the times we struggle. Give us confidence that you'll provide the words and the inspiration that we need. All we need to do is open to your will. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.